Welcome, Itika Mpumi, Itika Lelo. Thank you so much for vibing with me. Please make sure that you subscribe and you follow me on all my social media platforms. The information is in the description. We are back with another hot topic. Please do not forget to subscribe to my channel as it's going to help my channel grow. Please do hit the thumbs up like button as well to like this video. Alright, so let's get down to it. Today we'll be talking about another hot topic when it comes to love and relationship and to the end relationships. So today's topic, we are going to be delving into 10 tips to show that they don't love you. Whether it's your significant other, I'm talking about people who are in a love relationship connections, alright? Ways to show, ways to know that this person really does not really love you, okay? So the first point that we're going to be getting into is a lack of communication. Y'all guys, I'm going to tell you this. If a person is lacking with communicating with you, if a person is always finding reason to not communicate with you and they're not showing any interest in having to openly communicate, whether it's about showing their vulnerabilities or showing their emotions, expressing their emotions, let me put it that way, expressing emotions or verbalizing how they feel about you, that is a clear sign to know that that person really does not really care about you that much. Because I feel like no matter how you can get so busy in your life, there is no way that you do not get 2 minutes of your time or 5 minutes of your time to give another person a call or to text them or to, let them know that you care, let them know that you're there. And if the person is always struggling with having to open up and communicate with you, that's a clear sign that the person is not showing any interest, whether it's communicating through resolving conflict, whether your guys been having some misunderstandings, that needs communication in order for it to be resolved. But if you find yourselves not having to get to a stage where your guys cannot sit down and communicate without having to point the finger at another person or be a victim in a situation or always guilt trip or manipulate the situation to work in your favor or to turn the situation to be as if the other person is always wrong, that is a clear sign that that person is not keen on resolving anything. The person is not keen on having to openly communicate. Okay, remember, we come in these relationships without we come into these relationships, with different backgrounds. We are groomed a different way. We come from different relationships from our past that has molded us into doing certain patterns that perhaps maybe with your significant person that you're with might not really work out, okay? And no matter, I feel like personally, when it comes to relationships, even if a situation can be so difficult, I feel like some couples or some people tend to shy away from communicating, and others, they view it as a way of having to build a wall up in order for them to not have conflict, and not realizing that communication is key. Because some couples, they tend to shy away from communicating because they feel like if you're bringing up certain issues that are uncomfortable to address, now you're starting a problem, now you're starting arguments, and not realizing and understanding that at the end of the day, the pent up communication that you don't get to communicate about, at the end of the day, it is going to resurface in your relationship, and it's going to cause a lot of problems because one of the other way the other person is feeling like they are neglected emotionally. Because especially for us women, we like to verbalize, we like to communicate. I don't know if maybe there is other women who tend to not want to communicate, not want to talk about things, but majority of the time that I know that majority of the women, they are very big communicators, unlike men. But if you find yourself having a partner that is not even interested in communicating with you, even through a simple call. When your person is not interested in communicating with you, they will talk to you just 2 minutes and just end the call. They're not gonna try to ask you about your day, how you're feeling, how have you been feeling. They're not gonna try to put in any effort in having to communicate and verbalize. And what is a relationship without communication? And when you see that you're in a relationship where the person does not communicate, that means that person really does not really care that much. Because if you really cared so much about the relationship, I feel like if you see something that is bothering you, you would bring it up, not in ways of causing conflict. Because if every time when you bring up communicating with your person, they would tend to feel like you are attacking them, or they would tend to pull up a wall, that goes to show that is very toxic, because that person is trying to avoid getting into the real foundation of the relationship, which is communication. So communication is essential. If a person is not interested in communicating with you by any means necessary, whether it's getting to know you, whether it's resolving conflict, whether it's talking about feelings and opening up or addressing certain things that are uncomfortable to talk about. And sometimes, guys, we tend to shy away so much, especially as couples or people who are in love relationships, to talk about even intimacy. I don't get to be pleased this way, you don't please me this way. We don't get to delve into such topics and talk about them because they're uncomfortable. You are thinking that perhaps maybe my person is going to feel like they don't satisfy me in this area, or I don't make them happy. No, a healthy relationship and a healthy communication does not have to have you second guessing yourself, because however way you are going to come across to that person, it is always going to be resolved. It's not going to end up being this big blown up conflict. Okay, as long as you know how to communicate and address issues that you might be having in a very polite manner, in a manner that you'd want to put yourself in those shoes, and really, like, whatever it is that you're going to communicate, you have to understand that whatever it is that perhaps maybe you might be having a problem with, if another person might address you the same way, how are you going to feel? So in relationships and communication, it's essential. And why is it essential? You have to respect each other in doing the communication, because some people might feel really offended by how you communicate. So you have to put yourself in the shoes of that person before you verbalize whatever it is that you're verbalizing, because we come in these relationships with insecurities, we come in these relationships with our past traumas, and we are still we're still human beings, and we have a history and where we're coming from, so but communication is very essential. So if a person does not communicate with you, I wouldn't really really appreciate that. I would see that as a form of a person trying to avoid me and always wanting to be surface level with me, which I feel like that's not a deep connection. Where you gonna go with that kind of relationship? And the other point is, the other way of seeing that a person does not love you is avoiding spending time together. So I know that this is a big one. Sometimes you have to weigh the pros and the cons. Sometimes it does happen that there are situations that prevent a person from really not coming fully towards spending time with you, because maybe they might be going through financial crisis. They don't feel confident enough to want to be close to you. They want to feel secured. There could be other many reasons, but I tell you, like, if a person is consistently trying to put you down, they don't want to be with you, they want to spend time with you, they are not even telling you that they want to see themselves being with you, they want to spend time with you and stuff like that. I know, guys, we are adults, we are grown adults. Okay, there is so many things that tend to be on our plate other than just love relationships and loving a person. Because at the end of the day, there is a lot that we tend to deal with, okay? We tend to deal with juggling finances, juggling kids. Some of us have kids, some of us have family members, some of us are still trying to adjust financially with this and this and that. So you'll find that there is so many obstacles standing in the way. But I feel like communication, this is where communication plays a part. You become so honest with your person that I feel like right now at this point in my life, I feel like I am not confident enough to really be open enough to be in a relationship, and I feel like I'm not going to be able to come through in as much as you want me to come through, all right? And then you get to hear what they have to say about that, or if they are capable of adjusting to what you're saying, because some of us get in relationships not being prepared to be in relationships, or not being prepared to give the best that we can in relationships, but just because you love this person and you just want to be with this person and you don't want to lose this person, we tend to want to gauge the situation by having to be there but not there, kind of like you withholding someone else. So I feel like sometimes it is best to be just honest with your person that, you know what, I feel like I'm at a point in my life where really being in a relationship, it's not really something that I can say I can 100% give into, all right? And sometimes that honesty can save you a lot, that honesty can save you from someone else assuming the worst, and thinking that you don't love them because of you don't want to spend time with them. But majority of the time, if there is no communication and a person consistently declines and consistently bails on you and stuff like that, I feel like that is not a good sign, all right? And another one is they are not open about their life. So another point is that the person that you are involved with, if they're not open about their life, they're so closed off. And sometimes it could be many reasons why they are closed off, okay? Don't jump the gun and just completely, you have to weigh all options, okay? So sometimes people get closed off about their life because they are afraid of letting anyone in their circle, because they've been like betrayed, because they've let people in. And sometimes other people, they lie because they feel like it's a sense of protection and prevention from you getting hurt or knowing the truth, So most of the time you have to weigh the pros and cons of the relationship in itself. But if you find yourself being in a relationship where a person is deliberately, consistently hiding a lot from you and not telling you what's going on, and like you find that person numerous times up in a lie, always lying about something going on in their life, or making it seem like they're living this life when it's not this life, that is a complete, total big sign that that person is not really that invested. And some of the reasons why they don't want you to know a part of their life, or they don't want you to know some of the things about their life or whoever is around them, is because they don't want you to get that close to them, because to begin with, they never considered you to be someone who is going to be of big importance in their life to start with, okay? So it is essential that you get to know some of the things of the person that you're connecting with, and they let you know where they're coming from. I'm not talking about you having to know all the family members, you having to know all the pet names of pets around his house and everything like that, but knowing some of the things about him, okay? Knowing some of the things about him, what has impacted him in viewing relationships a certain way, how were his relationships in the past. Try to get to know some of the other things about his life, what are his dreams, aspirations, what is he doing to improve certain things about his life. Do you know some of the people that he hangs around with? Sometimes you find that the person that you're hanging around with, they're always crowded by men or women who are consistently up in their ear, telling them and influencing them when it comes to relationships. They always want to know what's going on in his life, who is he with, how's the relationship going. Every time there's a fight, they are the first ones to know. they are the first ones to mediate. So it's more like now it's no longer about you and your person, but it's about the whole community and everybody. So there's a total difference there. Okay, so if a person, it's okay if a person has certain boundaries, but it's also essential that a person lets you in their life and not close off completely. So that's a sign. If they don't fully let you in letting you know what is their life about and what is it about them as a person or an individual, then you should question yourself. Okay, so another point is they don't make effort. So if a person doesn't love you really, like honestly, they don't put in any efforts, they don't even try. I'm not saying we are all perfect, we are not. You're not supposed to seek perfection, because there's certain things that you as well, you're a human being, you're still evolving, you're still learning, you're still trying to adjust to. So they don't make any effort, they don't even try to make any effort, whether it's showing you that they just there for you, they want to be there for you, they're willing to sacrifice a portion of their time to do this with you, or to get you something special or precious, something nice for you. It doesn't have to be monetary value every time, or it doesn't have to be always expensive, but if a man is not putting in his best foot forward in trying, a man or a woman, I'm speaking in reference of a man because I'm a woman, but a man or a woman, if they're not trying to put in their best foot forward and trying to put in effort to make sure that the relationship is going somewhere, then you should question. All right, the very reason why I talked about communication in the beginning. So you have to understand that you and your person are on the same page. Don't try to force a person being in a relationship with you while they are not ready, because at the end of the day, you are going to be they're going to feel resentful towards you, and they're going to feel like everything is forced, or you forcing things to work out a certain way. Never force a person to do anything. Let a person do things because they want to. They can know what your expectations are and how you'd want to be treated in a relationship, and if they don't follow through that, then that is a clear indication that they're not interested in doing anything that has to do with making you happy or be joyful in the relationship. All right, and the other one is they don't support you. It doesn't mean that you have to be supported financially. Not everything is monetary. It can be monetary if your guys, that's the deal within the relationship, and you are capable of doing that. Okay, but support comes in a lot of many ways. Okay, it can be emotional support. Are you always there for your person? Are you always trying to pick up whenever the relationship is slacking? Are you not trying to do the tit for tat type of thing, like, oh, if he's not doing this, I'm not gonna do this, if he's not doing this, I'm not gonna do this? You have to reevaluate your reasons of being in that relationship, because partnerships and relationships, they are not about tit for tat. If you feel like your person is lacking in some way, you have to be willing to voice out and communicate, and go through with them in certain things that you'd like for them to do in the relationship, because we are different people. There's a lot in our heads, there's a lot that's going on. We are always surrounded by people and this and this and that. So you cannot expect a person to consistently be supportive of everything that you do, and then like they have to have you on their mind 24/7. They have to make efforts to be in whatever it is that you do. And yes, it's okay to do all those things and make efforts and stuff like that, but the expectation has to be very reasonable. So, but if a person is not willing to try to support you, encourage you, motivate you, if a person is not, showing support in means of just being there for you, it could be anyways, emotional support, physical support, verbally, financially, whatever the case might be. Okay, you can just tell when a person is supportive of who you are. All right, and another point is they show no jealousy. I know this is quite a controversy, but they show no jealousy. They don't show any jealousy. Your person, I'm not saying that is healthy, you guys. It is not healthy to have a partner who is consistently flippant jealous of everything and everyone around you. That is that is controlling, that is not healthy. It's just not. Like, I don't care who says what, because at the end of the day, you're going to have female friends that, I don't know if maybe that is the agreement between the relationship, that you still have, you can still have your female friends, they can still have their male friends, or maybe you just agreed that we don't want to have any external friends. But you are, either way, even if they are not your friends, you're gonna have to work hand in hand with different people, and that's going to be different genders, okay? In your life, you're gonna be surrounded by such people. So just imagine if you're so surrounded by a person who is consistently jealous. Imagine if your work is based on social media, you are an influencer, or you are a digital creator, or whatever the case might be, and maybe you are an event host, whatever, or you are a singer, or you're going to have fans. Social media is the greatest tool and platform for you to engage with people. Imagine if now you are a partner and you consistently try to control what your partner is doing. If this girl is liking the picture, you constantly want to ask, why is this girl doing this, why is that girl doing that? That is not healthy. It is not healthy. I come from that. I used to do that. I used to think like, if I can control what my person was doing, then I am fulfilled, and that is the opposite of it. It's just total distraction. I honestly came to believe that if something it is meant for you, it will always be for you. And if a person is meant to do you a certain way, whether it's doing you wrong, that is going to be a catalyst for you. That is going to be a lesson for you. And you need to grow from that, So some of the things like that. But if your person is not really showing like a little healthy jealousy, that is just a clear sign that they just don't care what you do, what you got going on, what you don't do. Just a little healthy jealousy, it's okay. You don't have to show this controlling, possessive jealousy, and that is not healthy, because it can cause chaos. And just imagine if you're having a social circle and your partner is now speaking to this girl, or an associate, or whatsoever, and then you just jumping in there, what are you doing with her? You've been talking like this, you've been like, hey, like, relax, okay? So another point is they make decisions on their own. So they make decisions on their own. They basically don't include you in any of the decisions that they make. You just tend to see surprises. You don't know if there is something big coming up. You don't know if they got a promotion at work. You don't know if they are upping their levels when it comes to their career. You don't know. You just see surprises every time. They make plans alone. They don't even tell you if you're interested in joining them or being a part of that. You just see a person going out having fun. They're not including you. How would that make you feel when you are a significant other? I'm not saying that they should not have their own separate life outside of you, but communicating with your person to say that, hey babe, I'm going to this place, but I would have really loved for us to go next time. It's such a cool place. I'd like for us to go next time, Or, hey babe, this weekend I'm gonna be busy, but I'm gonna be hanging out with my friends. We're doing this, and prioritize the relationship as well, So a person letting you know that they got this going on in their life. Hey babe, I've made a milestone when it comes to this. My business is coming like this. My this is coming like this. I feel like we're gonna be hitting a breakthrough. That is like certainly showing that they are involving you in their life. But if they don't involve you in any decision, they just make their own decisions. Sometimes it's just good to even ask your person, do you think if I wear this is gonna look good on me? I'm going to this place. Hey babe, I've got this event coming. Do you think I should wear this kind of color, that kind of color? Do you think, but I think that, like, you involve your person in their life, you know. So yeah, that's a clear indication that they don't love you if they don't even include you in anything, they don't ask you anything, you're just there, you just that you just see things by surprise. Then you should question where you stand in that relationship. All right. So and another one, they don't confide in you. They do not confide in you. They don't feel like you've got the best advice. They don't feel like you're the best person for them to talk to you, and they don't feel like they can disclose their emotions or what they're going through. It could be just small things, you know. Hey babe, you know, today I had a bad day, I felt so pressured. Or today you don't have, you know, they don't confide in you, they don't seek support from you, they don't try to, you know, hear what you have to say, you know. They don't say anything. They just bottling things up, they are keeping it to themselves. Then that is an indication that that person, or you see them venting to a friend, and then that's when you hear that they're having a problem, or you hear it by his sister, his brother, you don't know about such. And then you ask yourself, what happens? Am I not the best place to start off and talk to, you know? And then the other last one is they don't check in on you or your well-being. If your person does not love you, they don't check upon you. They don't check upon your well-being. They don't care. They don't give a 2 seconds text just to say hey. They don't call you. They don't mix up the communication to call you, to text you sometimes, you know. Routine can be boring, so trying to mix a different variety of communicating, whether it's a long distance relationship or a nearby relationship. So they don't try to check on you if you're okay. They don't try to know what's going on emotionally, are you in a good state, you know. So yeah, that was the last point. Please do understand that I'm not a certified therapist or a counselor. I'm just merely sharing my own thoughts and views and experiences when it comes to this, and no one is perfect. Take it easy and don't try to misjudge everything when it comes to your significant other, because I've mentioned some of these things. Sometimes certain actions are influenced by certain outcomes, you know. You never know what influenced the person to act a certain way when it comes to you. And some people, they just don't know how to love, and maybe you have to be very kind and genuine towards them in having to try to teach them what is your love language. What do you prefer when it comes to love? And don't think a person is a robot or a machine where you have to feel like if you told them once, then they should be having it in their head, or whatever the case might be. Love, remember, it is patient, it is kind, okay? So don't try to be agitated and all those kind of things, okay? It doesn't appear very nice, it appears very controlling. You're always forgetting my birthday. You're always forgetting to do this and that and that. It's okay to show maybe a little bit of, okay, I'm a bit mad, okay? But please, you know, do keep in mind that we have to communicate this way, you know. That's a more polite way to show that, okay, fine, you are emotionally in check, okay? So no one is perfect. Take it easy. No one is perfect. No one has it all figured out, especially when it comes to love relationships. So don't try to overjudge or be over analytical of your person, or stop loving them because they do some of the things that I just mentioned. So thank you so much for vibing with me. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel to help my channel grow. So take care. I will see you on another one. Bye. Adios.